start recording now. What are the foods that help us achieve this balance in our bodies? And then there's right after a meditation section. And at the end of meditation, there's excavation questions. And excavation questions are for you to write in your journal. If you decide that you want an accountability buddy, then this is great topic of conversation to check in with your buddy. Like, hey, I just did my excavation questions. Have you done yours? You know, what came up for you? Can we talk about this? Because it's one thing to read the question and answer it in your head. And then it's another thing to respond and put that physically on paper. It makes it more real when you're fully expressing through writing. And then speaking it out loud also makes it true. You're able to hear your response and then talking it through if you wish. Like you can tell your buddy, I just want to tell you what my response is, but I'm not looking for advice. And then we also talk about active listening, where if someone's sharing something, we're not like, oh my gosh, it's okay, that same thing happened to me, no worries, like blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, I can't believe you did that, you don't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not about that. So listening in this whole situation, a lot of us like really are eager to help each other, but this is also a practice for us to be a good listener. When someone just wants to share, you say, thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to say like that's part of one of the hardest things in participating, especially if you know people, is wanting to help them. And then later, like maybe you text them like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that, blah, blah, blah. Like that's not what they're looking for. They just wanted to express what's going on. So that's kind of the gist of things. I know I went through it really fast and there is more. So I'm happy to answer questions as they come up. I just want to take a break from me speaking and allow you guys to ask questions. Are there any? If not, I'll just keep talking.
What's the name of the book?
I don't have any yet.
Okay, Lorena, the name of the book is 40 Days to a Personal Revolution. And the author is Baron Baptiste.
Got it.
And
Thank you.
Actually available, at least locally in my library, it's available for checkout. So you should your library for a digital copy before you go buy it if you don't want to buy it. I have 2 hard copies because I love it. I always lose things. So if I lose one, I know where the second one is and I'm not going to miss my reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, Laura.
When are you starting?
We're starting, thanks, good. Okay, so January 2nd, 2021. So 1221, if you like numbers.
So my second question is that because of you and because I love challenges and I've done the whole 30 for like 5 years straight every January. So I know I can stick to like a strict diet with no sugar, but now I'm doing the 75 hard on top.
Yes.
So as far as adding these 2 together, I know the reading component can be taken care of.
Yeah.
I'll probably be reading more and reading ahead. So offline or maybe in a separate message, because I know you've done 75 hard.
Yeah.
And you're doing this. I think you've done this before. So if you have any tips or tricks of like how to manage with a full-time job, how to manage my day, and what helped you accomplish both, or what would help somebody accomplish both at the same time, I would love to hear that.
Yes, that's a great question. So I know a lot of us take on new challenges at the beginning of the year in general because we want a change in our life. We want to do something different, right? This program, it doesn't stop you from doing anything else. And I'm doing the same 40 days right now with a small group of people that are helping me develop how I can support you guys better in January. So I actually have one of those gals in that group. She just started 75 hard the same day she started this. And so it is possible to do. What is like, think of how you can check a box for both of them, right? So you're eating clean for one, which means you're eating clean for the other. So maybe you just focus what meals you're making based off of the recommendations of the book for 40 days, because you're still going to be sticking to that whole, like, how can you use these recommendations with your guidelines for what you're following? and then the workout takes care of itself. So where week 1 and 2, you're not quite at your 45 for your indoor, you'll just have to add a little bit longer. But it could be the beginning of your inside workout. So you can use this 20-minute yoga flow as your warm up and then do a 25-minute workout immediately after indoors. And that checks both of them, right? And then the meditation is something that's not required for 75 hard, but it's beneficial. What I would do my first year, because I was not a meditator and I didn't take the time to do that, I actually set my alarm starting week 1 at a half hour before I wanted to start my day. And I would wake up and I would do my first meditation immediately. And so I would sit up in my bed, put my pillows behind my back so that I could be supported and tall, and I would do my meditation. Week 1 is just 5 minutes, and I woke up more early for that because by the end of week 6 or 7, we are doing 30 minutes for meditation. So I set myself up from the beginning to be ready for the final week. And so that's what I would recommend as well. Do you feel better about doing both? A little bit? Okay. And I'm happy to still like offline support you regardless. Other questions? Because there's more I'm going to add.
I have
So
one.
this is like
oh, go ahead.
no, this is like a program, Michelle, that we will be in a group and all do this like for 40 days, something like this. This is what it is about.
Yeah, so we would meet once a week, and during the week, you're responsible for checking off all of your items. So I will provide,
okay.
I provide a tutorial. So we'll meet on Saturdays, and Sundays I provide a document with like, this is your reading, this is what page it's on, these are the questions. So kind of assign your homework for the week on Sunday.
Okay.
I have a link to the tutorial for the yoga, and then I'll also have a link to a yoga flow that's the required amount of time. And you can repeat that yoga flow every day on your own watching the video. Once a week on Wednesdays, I'll do one live yoga session via Zoom. And it doesn't follow the same exact poses that are in the book, but it's just a flow to meet off the requirements. And even though it says 20 minutes of yoga, like the first week, you can do a full class and, you know, participate in an hour-long class if your gym provides that. If you're following, like Brandy, you're part of RCF Studio, you taking my morning class, that counts as your yoga, as long as it's at least 20 minutes. And so anything that's like a timeline, if you end up meditating for a half hour on your first day, twice, that's great. So just know that the numbers are for minimum requirements. And we'll meet again every Saturday to say, how did that week go for you? What came up? How can we support you better? And then I have questions where we will just reflect on things that have to do with each week's theme. And if you choose to have an accountability buddy, then before Saturday, you should, you know, either text them or send them a message in Facebook or Instagram and be accountable with them. Like, how's the week going for you? How are you doing? And you guys meet. So potentially you have 2 meetings, a Saturday, and then at some point via text or a phone call or however you choose via email with your partner if you want one.
Okay.
Okay. And Brandy?
Yeah, I was just curious if you could tell me a little bit about what the diet is like that the book recommends. Is it basically like clean eating, or is it?
Yeah. So that brings me to the one thing I was going to add. This is not a requirement of the book, but the way that I've done this through the yoga studio that I used to go to is that they would recommend that you also abstain from stimulants. So for some people, this is going to be really hard. For others, it's easy, and it's always a choice for everyone. But we recommend to abstain from caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar during these 40 days. And it's really hard for some people, especially if you're used to having coffee every day. Some people will have to slowly cut it out. And some people are just like, I refuse and I won't. And this is all for you to make your best choice for yourself. The reason we recommend not having these stimulants is so that you are in your body as naturally and wholly as it is. And you really want to experience the change in your energy, the shift in your thoughts, and all of that without any stimulants. Sometimes we, for example, like caffeine, I still have a friend that's doing the 40-day beta test with me, and we're on week 3, and this person is still not fully off of caffeine. And every week, this is the beauty of our meeting on Saturdays, we can choose to recommit, and we say out loud, just like an AA meeting, my name is Michelle, and this week I will abstain from caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar, and anything else that you feel called to change in your life, you can declare it at the end of each Saturday. And that's a recommitment or a new commitment, totally up to you. Nobody's judging, we're just supporting. All of us that have done the last 2 weeks of the first round of 40 days, even myself, I haven't done all my meditations. I haven't committed to all the extra things that I wanted to do, but I say it out loud, I acknowledge it, and I will try better tomorrow or try better today, right after this meeting, right? So it's really about bringing that awareness. For the diet itself, every week you're just focusing on something different. So week 1, for example, you're just identifying the patterns of your body. Is it hot? Is it cold? Are you excessive or deficient in certain types of foods? What are some eating patterns? And knowing that you don't have to overhaul your diet all at once, but just like little bits at a time. Is this beneficial to me? Is this healthy for me? And then yes or no, and don't eat it if it's a no. It's really simple. And then the second week, we're focusing on vitality, and the foods for that are all fresh foods. So we're looking for nothing processed, no drive-throughs, even if it's a healthy drive-through, you know, all fresh foods, create your own foods. Think of crisp and fresh and juicy, that kind of food, right? Doing your best to not eat leftovers that week. So always have a fresh new plate of food that week. This week for us, week 3 is about equanimity and balance. And we're looking and learning about our cravings and how do we react when we have cravings, or what happens before we have the craving that might be causing the craving. And then what is it that we're trying to eat from the craving, and how is that going to make us feel? Is there anything else that we can do to make ourselves feel that same way? So if I want a sweet, for example, I have a sweet tooth. Okay, I want something sweet. What can I do? I'm going to have a banana. Is that banana enough? Maybe not. Okay, then I'm going to have banana and dates, right? So finding still fresh, healthy foods that you can have instead of reaching for that Snickers or reaching for that the huge sugary Starbucks drink. Yeah, so it's not a diet. It's just ways to look at what foods you're eating and how to eat better.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great.
And the excavation questions at the end, I love that they call it excavation, because it's like you are already this like amazing treasure. And right now it's like we're archaeologists trying to like dig the dirt away so that we can reveal like the beautiful polished gem underneath all of the dirt that we may be carrying on ourselves. So these excavation questions are really to help us get rid of those limiting beliefs, those things that tell you you're not enough, that you can't, those things that maybe you grew up hearing these, so you believe them, but you don't realize that it's affecting you today. Or maybe it's a partner in your life that's saying things to you that are affecting you and hurting you, and you need to find a way to let those go. Or maybe it's yourself, that you're just saying these things to yourself, and you have to improve your self-talk and give yourself more positive affirmations daily. And then having us here to love on you as well. Yes. Any other questions?
I'm really excited.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. You guys are welcome to buy the book, read up ahead of time, and like get an idea for it. And then come January 1st, like you're already on track with like the vibe of what's going to be going on. And if you do read and you say, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get this kind of help, definitely reach out to me because I have time to add on different types of help. So things that I do is create the video tutorial to go over the teachings of the new poses. I do a pre-recorded yoga flow, and sometimes it's going to be myself, and other times my friend Renee, who did yoga teacher training with me this year. And then I also will do a live Zoom class for yoga, and I will also provide recipes recommended that I would cook based off of the book's recommendation. So I try my best to like give you guys everything so that you don't have to think, but just be present in the experience and do what you can. And your homework is just to read, to do yoga, to meditate, to reflect, and to show up every day for yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Great. I'm going to put, I think I have it in the chat. Kid, does everyone have access to the chat box? I
Yes.
just did a link, and that link just goes to a Google document form. For anyone who's interested, you can just click the link and then fill out the form to like officially be a part of the January experience. And I'll include you guys in the email, or just, I think your phone numbers are on there too. So I'll just make sure that you're connected with us. I'll add you guys to a Facebook, private Facebook group for everyone that's doing this. And then, yeah, if you have any questions, you all somehow knew how to contact me. So please contact me again if you have questions between now and January. I'll be doing another info session, I think, next week, just in case other people wanted to join that didn't get a chance to today. So thank you guys. And if you don't have any questions, you're free to pop off. I appreciate you guys showing up, and I look forward to seeing you guys in January as well. Happy holidays.
You too.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Michelle.
much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jess. Bye, Laura.
Hola, mama. Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your Cairo.
You gotta do that self-care.
Yes.
Thank you. It's really
Right.
informative. All the questions I had, everyone else asked.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
Like the diet one was the one that I'm the most curious about.
Yeah, it's all simple. It's like what you want it to be, and
Okay.
as much or as little as you want it to be. And every week we give you grace to recommit if you fell off the track.
The wagon. Okay. I'm gonna be traveling. I'll be in Mexico January 2nd.
Okay.
So that's my
Well, you
only.
can still do this. I do this
You can,
during
right?
the
It's
holidays because
doable.
if you can make it through the holidays, you can make it through anything. So,
Right? Okay.
yes. All right. Well,
Thank
good
you.
luck, and happy
Bye.
holidays. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye, Lorena. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye.
Bye.